Molly. I'm a sophomore in CGS, and I'm majoring in public relations.
I am Melissa Molina. I am class of 2025, and I will be transitioning to CAS joint major in economics and mathematics.
My name is Benjamin Verrett. I am a master lecturer in social science. My first year teaching at CGS was 1999-2000.
I'm Kayla. I'm a sophomore in CGS, and I'm planning on going into international relations.
So me, I'm author, currently in my sophomore year, going towards my junior year, and I'm planning on studying international relations in Part E.
Group project, 50 pages. I can't do this.
Definitely will say it's difficult. I would honestly stay on top of it even before they start talking to us about it, just because everything starts really quickly. You basically get I guess an overview of what Capstone is, and then you have to deal with finals at the same time, so it's just better to get a head start on what the project is, know more about it beforehand.
We've had one meeting with the faculty so far. Next, we're going to be starting to annotate our sources, and we're just really in the research process.
So right now we are in the research phase. I think our next steps are going to be coming up with a more specific topic to narrow down what we want to talk about and making our outline for the entire paper. So I wanted to work with one of my friends, and we had kind of decided early on that we wanted to work together, and we just kind of worked out with some of our mutual friends that we were going to form a big group.
We have a number of fears because we've been doing this for so long. One fear is no commitment, where some number of students just say, I don't care, or I only care a little bit. In a group project, that can be lethal, and especially in a big group project like this, it can be very destructive. So we worry about that, where people are not going to work as hard. We worry about the notion that students think this is just some time off. Okay, and that is not what this is going to be. A good capstone is not time off. A good capstone is you're doing a lot of work. We worry about interpersonal issues. When you meet a lot, when you have deadlines, when you have a big project, conflicts are going to occur. And we're the professors, we're outside of that. We don't, it's tough. Students can come to us and say, we're having this issue. It can be tough on us to know exactly how to handle it. Okay? And we can give advice, but we're not in it. So we worry about the interpersonal clashes.
Our group wanted to have a big impact, especially in Boston. We did a little research on what other capstone teams did, and we were really interested in focusing on a policy that could help the community in Boston. One of our goals, if possible, we want to pass our policy through City Hall. We heard about different capstone projects that were able to pass a few policies there, and they had a bigger impact. So we don't want to just research and get to know our topic, but we also want to make a difference. So I'm really excited about that. I hope that we get to learn about the whole process of how research is made to actually take action and make policies possible.
The best ways to get a good capstone is the group should meet fairly often. The group should communicate always well. What is each person talking about, researching? What are the problems that are occurring? Okay, where are they having complications? Where are they falling a little bit behind? Meetings and communication are very good. There has to be a commitment to doing research. Okay, the first 2 weeks or so, you have to be willing to sit down and read, and constantly read. And tell your fellow group members what you're reading. If you're finding interesting things, send it to the group. And say, hey, this is a great article, here's the reasons why. How about everybody can look at this? And after about that 2 weeks or so, you need to dig in and say, here's what we're going to write. Here is exactly what everybody, you've been researching this stuff, start writing this. And you have to be very clear on delineating who's who's writing which pieces. The writing process should be open to each other. In other words, people should be able to see what the other people are writing in real time, and the reason why is to start seeing, are there going to be gaps? Are there going to be places where we need to fill in? Is somebody struggling?
Yeah. Your email?
Yeah, that one.
Molly, all right. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. This is it?
This is it.
Good evening. Attached is our final capstone. Thank you. Best group of 12.
Yep.
Okay? I'm sending it.
It's sent.
My name is Maya O'Neill. I'm a neuroscience major. I am supposed to be a 2025 grad, and I'm on Team S. And I think that I had a really great capstone experience. I definitely heard a lot of stories about friends of mine having to shoulder the majority of the work for their projects, and I don't think that was the case for me or my group at all. I think that because we kind of all chose each other and had known each other before, there was kind of like a mutual respect. So we all showed up to all the meetings and worked hard to like make sure that we all did our fair share of the work. And I definitely don't feel like there was anyone who did more work than anyone else. I have done research in the past, mostly medical research because I am a pre-med student. I currently work in a lab at Brigham and Women's, and it is definitely very different from this. I write medical articles in that lab, which is super different from writing a capstone project, but personally I really like writing essays, so I thought it was really great. And I also like that I was working with a team of people who were all really like excited about the work that we were doing, which made it fun.
Hi, my name is Jack Lalos.
I'm Ogena Redu.
We're both poli-sci majors, year of 2025.
Team S.
Team S.
I know that for us, like before kickoff, we had sent the list of all of the possible topics that we could do, and we kind of narrowed it down so everybody sent in their top 3. And what ended up happening was like the one that was in everybody's top 2, which is racial biases in medicine. Everybody like either had that as 1 or 2, like everybody liked it. So that's just like, I guess, by not democracy, but everybody liked it, so that's why we did it.
And I also think we had to definitely narrow it down. We ended up doing maternal care, Black women, and I think we had to definitely narrow it down because the initial topic was too broad, but it was good that we all agreed on a general topic before we started. I think that made things a lot easier.
Yeah, also especially because like, I guess the demographic makeup of our group, it was like not like, yeah, close to home. It was something that most of us could talk about, so it was really interesting to do.
Hi, I'm Malika Uriesi, and I'm a CGS sophomore on Team S, and I'm majoring in health science.
Hi, I'm Nicole Wershak. I'm a CGS sophomore on Team S as well, and I'm majoring in human physiology.
So I've never done a research project before, but with Capstone, we picked a topic that I felt was very interesting, as we're both women going into the medical field, and we picked a topic about racial bias within medicine, specifically focusing on Black women. So I felt like with liking my topic, it made the whole process so much better.
Yeah, I agree. I've never done a research project before, but doing the research for this and like with our topic being like racial bias in medicine, it wasn't really like much. It wasn't too much of a hassle for me. I enjoyed it, so I think I liked it.
Like before, like March, I'll say, professors didn't really talk about Capstone. They were just like, "Don't worry about it right now. Like, just it'll come when it comes." And from other students, I've heard like mixed reviews about it, but it really wasn't that bad to me. Especially if you like your group and you like your topic, then I feel like it will be a good experience, and you can put that on your resume.
Yeah, I hadn't really heard about Capstone prior to like us actually having to prepare for it, and I kind of it was kind of only mentioned in passing, and it kind of scared me because I thought it was going to be a lot more work than it was, which it was a lot of work, but not nearly as much as I went into it thinking it was going to be.
I was on Team T. My general capstone experience, I want to say, was like a combination between frustrating and stressful. Frustrating because we couldn't seem to agree with our professor on a problem. Frustrating because he ghosted us. Stressful because it felt like there wasn't enough time. Stressful because it was such a big project and I've never done something so big, and it was just so much work on top of like studying for my other classes and studying for my other tests and making sure that I was on like deadlines for capstone. It was just a lot. So as a STEM student, I kind of had to cut out certain things. So work was one of them, and I was lucky enough for my parents to like slightly help me in that area. As far as social life goes, I had to really find a balance between that and getting my work done, which I've always been doing this semester and past semester. So what I was doing was making sure that if I know I had something, let's say, due on a Tuesday, I would get it done during the weekend, or I would just stay like in a room or in the lounge of my dorm and get that done. So the last week I barely slept. Usually I try to get at least 8 hours of sleep. I know that's like impractical as a college student, but I tried to get 8 hours of sleep. I was not getting 8 hours of sleep. I was definitely getting like a calm 4 to 5 hours. The day before the presentation was really nerve-wracking, so I got like once again 5 hours of sleep. So, and since it was leading up to finals and I was also studying for like tests that I've had before finals, literally on the last days of class, it was just so much, so sleep was not a thing for me.
For Capstone, I had joined a new team this semester, and so I wasn't really familiar with my classmates, so I decided to go random. But I did know one person in my group who is a close friend of mine. When it came to divvying up work, in the very beginning, we made a team contract where we assigned roles to each person, but as we went on with the Capstone project, we kind of realized that some of the roles needed reassigning, whether we said that like literally or it just happened naturally. For me personally, I started off as simply an editor, but then I kind of transformed more into a facilitator and like kind of checking in with everyone throughout each part of the Capstone project. And so like when it came to like communicating with everyone, like where the meetings were, like who needs to have what by when. And so it kind of did introduce me to more of like a leader role, which was honestly something that I think was a positive to the experience that I gained in Capstone. So outside of this Capstone experience, this semester as a whole was just a learning curve of being able to balance everything. I am overloading this semester, so that means I'm taking 20 credits instead of the usual 16. And additionally, I'm also a part of various organizations on campus. Phi Alpha Delta, which is the pre-law fraternity, Alpha Delta Pi, which is a sorority here on campus, and also Arise, which is a service club that is targeted towards assisting refugees through service, initiative, and education. And so a lot of my commitments had to be tested around the time of Capstone because I wanted to ensure that I was present at my meetings while also maintaining my academics and also maintaining a presence in the various extracurriculars. And it was definitely a trying time for me, but I think in the end game, going through Capstone really forced me to work on my own time management because my work and the work that I was putting in had an influence on our complete and total group grade. It wasn't just impacting me, it was impacting the rest of my group.
So basically, because the majority of us lived in Hojo, we had the majority of our meetings in the Hojo lounge. So that was pretty easy access. I'd wake up, get ready, change and go to the Hojo lounge, do that, leave and go to class. And then I feel like a lot of our days were in Mugar, but mostly like towards the end. Not so much like capstone, like meeting with the teachers, but more so like when we're actually writing. That's when we spend a lot of our time in Blueguard. We were in Blueguard for how long when it was capstone night? Too long. That's the answer.